Welcome to Let's Weave Beads. In this video I will be doing the second diamond in our star pattern with the rectangle the rectangle cross weave. Now here I have the pattern laying out sideways the way we converted it, but when I bead up the diamonds I actually like to turn them so that the center part, which is where the 5 diamonds meet in the center of the star, is down. So I will do that here, and this is how I do the patterns. Now I will be working from this direction this way, but you can work the other direction, or if you like it this way you can work top down, bottom up, whatever works for you, but I will be showing it to you this way. Now for the cross weave, you'll be using both ends of your string, and then we will start with these two. So 1, 2, start with those, and they are both black. The black is outlined in black, then we have the red outlined, and then the blue and white I did in a slight yellowish because it was on the edge of the pattern, so I could distinguish it from the rest of the graph. So we'll put on our 2 blacks. It does not matter which string those 2 go on because they are the first 2. Then I will be adding this to the right and this to the left. So we need a red on the right and a black on the right and a red on the left. Did I put them on right? No, I did that backwards. That's right. I'm getting my left and right mixed up, and this is left. Okay, so we have our right and our left. Now we'll let them drop down. And then we'll add these 2 beads. It does not matter which string. So we need 2 reds. Then we'll take the other string, whichever, and you go through the 2 reds from the opposite direction so that you're crossing them. And then you bring those down. Now, when you look at your piece, you should have the red on the left side and the black on the right side. And as long as you keep your strings right, then you'll be good. Now at this point you can pick either string. I am going to pick the right one, so that means we'll be on this side. So I'm going to pick the right one, and that means we're going to add this circle first. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now this is increasing, and when you're increasing with the cross weave, you will sometimes, of course, use 1 string. So here we're using 1 string, and we're going to add the red, and then 5 blacks. Now you let them drop down. Now they should be next to this black here on the end, not the red one. The red one should be on the opposite side. And then you want to find that first bead you just added for this rectangle, and you want to go through it again, making sure to go away from your previous rectangle. Now we'll turn it so that our previous rectangle is now to the right and our one we just added is down. Now one string will be longer than the other. That's perfectly normal. And now our right is where our previous row is. Just make sure that's correct. Yes, see, our previous row is on the right, and then our left string we're going to add 2. So we're going to add 1, 2, 3 beads, and we add them to the left, but only let the first 2 drop down. So we need 2 reds. Let them drop. Then we'll add a black. And then we take the right string and cross. And if we did it correctly, this is the way it will look. Now we want to take the string, which in this case is right, that's coming in towards your previous row, and we're going to add all of the next beads to it. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we'll let the first 3 drop down. So we will add 5, 1, 2, 3, let those drop, then 4 and 5. Now 4 and 5 we're going to cross with our other string. Cross. Come down, and we are now finished adding our second row, and we are coming out on the side of our third row. Now we want the string coming out of the end of our previous row, and we're going to add our first rectangle. So we need 1 black, 2 blues, and 3 blacks. That's our beads. Now we find that first one and we go through it, going away from our current piece. And there we've added our first set. Now, as I usually hold it, the right string is coming out of our previous row, and the left string we're going to add 2. So that's 1, 2, 3. That'll be 2 blacks and a red. Then the red you'll keep and cross with your other string. Then the string coming in towards your previous row, you will go through the 2 beads on your previous row, and then the string coming away from your previous row, you'll add your next set of beads. So that is 5 beads. 3 black beads. We keep that first one, or the last one actually, number 3, and we cross it with our other string. Then we again go through the 2 beads on our previous row, and we take the string coming away from our previous row and we add our next 3 beads. So that's 3 blacks again. And we cross the third one with our other string. And now we've come to the end of this row, which is increasing. So we will add all 5 because the next one is okay, yes. We want the string coming in towards our previous row, which is the opposite of what we normally do. And we want to add all 5 beads. And we'll let the first 3 drop. So we'll add 5 blacks. Let the first 3 drop. And we add 2. And we take the other string and we cross. Now we're coming out of the 2 beads on the side of our new row, and we're going to take the one coming out the end of our current row, our previous row, and add the first rectangle. And it's all black, so that'll be 6 blacks. Them drop down. We find that first bead and we go through it away from our current work, and we've added the first rectangle. Now we will add our beads, so we want the string coming away from our previous row, so we'll add 1, 2, 3 blacks, 1, 2, let them drop, 3, and we cross with the other string. Then the string coming in towards our previous row will go through the 2 side beads, and we're ready to add 1, 2, 3 onto the string coming away from our previous row, and that's 2 whites, which we'll let drop, and a black, which we will cross with the other string. And then we'll go through the 2 beads on our previous row, and you want to go through it with the string coming in towards your previous row. And then we add the next 3 onto the string coming away from the previous row, and that'll be 1, 2, drop, 3, and cross. Then we go through the 2 beads on the previous row with the string that's coming in towards the previous row, and we add our next set of beads to the string coming away from our previous row. That is a black and 2 blues. First one dropped, the third bead gets crossed with the other string, and we go through the 2 beads on our previous row. Then we add, and that will be 2 blacks, and we cross the third one with our other string. Now we've come to the last set, which means we don't need to, because we're increasing, we don't need to go through any beads because there aren't any beads left on our previous row. Now this is the top bead, so you might look and it actually works out perfectly because we want to add actually to the one that is coming out towards where the next row would be, and it is the longer of the 2, so it works out perfectly. So we will go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we're going to add a blue, followed by 4 blacks, then we want to go through that bead right here at the end of our row that our other string is coming out of, and there we have finished our row. Now to get ready for the next row, we need to be coming out of these 2 second beads here. So the one coming in towards your previous rows, you're actually going to want to go through all 5 beads. So we'll do that first. Go through 2, 3, 4, 5, and it is now coming out of that second set of 2. Then we take our other string and we go through that second set of 2, and now we're in position to start our new row. Now we want the string that's coming out the shorter end, not the longer. We don't want this one, we want this one here. And we're going to add our beads. Let's see, they're all blue. So that'll be 4 blues. And we'll let the first 3 drop, and we will cross the 4th one with our other string. And now we're back to going through 2 beads on the previous row with the string coming in towards the previous, and then adding to the string that is coming away. So we add 1, 2, 3, all black. 1, 2, let those drop, 3rd one, cross with the other string, then go through the 2 beads on the previous row, then we add 1, 2, 3, that'll be a black, yes, a black, followed by a white, and then the 3rd one is a white, and we cross it with the other string. Then we go through the 2 beads on the previous row, and we add our 3 beads. So we need 2 blacks, let them drop. 3rd one is a white, cross it. Now here, because our one string is longer, I'm actually going to use it, but normally I would not. So for this piece, because this string coming in towards your row is currently longer, we're going to add to it. So we're going to go through the 2 beads on the previous row, and we're going to add going in this direction. So we're going to add 1, 2, 3, because our string is coming out up top. So that is 2 blacks and a white. Then we're going to go through this bead that our string is coming out of, and there are our strings. Now we want to be coming out these 2 second beads, so we're going to take the inside one and go around all 5, and the outside one will just go through the 2. So we'll do the inside one first, there's our 2, and then we do this one, and there's our 2 strings coming out of that second set of beads. So now we're here, so we're going to add 1, 2, 3, 4, and we want to add it to the string that's coming out towards the shorter side of the row, so that's this one. They're all white, so we add 1, 2, 3, let those drop, and then the 4th one we cross with the other string. Then we go through the 2 beads on our previous row, and we add to the string coming away from the previous row 3 blacks, and the 3rd one we cross with our other string. Now Both strings are about the same. One is a teeny bit longer, but not that much longer that I would use it. So we want to use the string coming away just as we normally do, but we're going to skip that first step of going through the next two because we don't want to do that. So we just want to use the string that's coming away from the previous row, and we're going to add the last 3 beads for this row. And then we're going to go through the 2 beads on the previous row, but going towards our current work. And then we go through the bead that our other string is coming out of. And there we are here. Now, because this is our last set, I only take the string that's coming away and use it to add the last set. So we go through those 2 beads here in the middle, and we add our 4. You have to see we're on the side with the white, so we're going to add 1, 2, 3, 4, and they happen to all be black. And then we go through the 2 beads on the previous row to attach. And there we have our piece finished. Now, when I secure the string, that's why this one I just left here because it wasn't needed here. So it's just in place to be secured. This one I'll bring down so they're both in the same position. Now this one on this side's a bit short, so I will show you how I secure my string with this one here. If you already have a way that you secure your string, you can use that, but for those of you who maybe aren't familiar, this is how I like to secure my string. I'll first go through 1 set of 2. Then I'll go down through a 1. And then what I like to do is, after I've gone down a little bit, is do a complete circle. So I'll go through these 2, then the 1, then the 2 underneath the last 2 I went through. Then I go back up and go through those 2 again to make a complete circle. And once I've done that, then I trim off my string. If you have any questions, please leave comments. I'll be glad to help you in any way that I can, and I hope to see you in the next few videos. I plan to go back and forth between the rectangle right angle weave and the rectangle cross weave so that you can try out both and see which one you prefer. Happy beading!